4th of July weekend with the beginning of a 3-game series against the Kansas City Royals. And the Kansas City Royals, Mike, are going to look at one of the best pitchers in baseball, and he has been in his last 4 outings, Felix Hernandez.
He's been dominant. You look at the record, 3-0, 2 complete games for him, ERA of a 1.26, 37 strikeouts for Felix. And when you talk about Felix Hernandez, most people are going to think about his fastball, how dominant it is at 95 to 97 miles an hour. But his breaking ball has been exceptional, and his changeup always is good. But I think more importantly than anything, really, with Felix, his first pitch strikes. He's done a really nice job over those 4 games getting ahead of hitters. And once he gets ahead of them, he has the ability to put them away.
Kansas City has been playing some excellent baseball under their new manager, Ned Yost, just coming off of beating the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim 2 out of 3. And tonight, they're going to go with Brian Bannister. Bannister was hot earlier in the year. He'd won 5 in a row. Since that time, he's lost 3 out of 4. But he can be mighty, mighty tough. The M's have Russell Branyan back, and he came back in a big way yesterday.
Well, he did, and this is what you were hoping to get. On the road trip, he hit a couple of home runs. This is a big one yesterday. The Mariners down 1-0, and Branyan comes up and hits a 3-run homer out to right center field, a towering home run that goes in the second row. But that's what you were hoping to get from Russell, and he's really swung the bat well since he's come over.
And Russell's back in the line tonight as the designated hitter. The weather was no problem here tonight. A little cooler than it was in Detroit yesterday, but a beautiful night for baseball. The M's and the Kansas City Royals are first of a 3-game series. We'll be back. Have a look at tonight's starting lineups right after this timeout.
System uses 3 cameras to track every pitch. Graphical enhancements have been added to the EQC tracer this season to give you more information and insight into the game.
City. All our summer glimmering at best here tonight as we open up a series against the Kansas City Royals to conclude the 4th of July weekend as fans start coming through the rotunda to take their seats behind home plate. We get set. And quickly, let's have a look at the Kansas City Royals starting lineup.
Thank you, Dave. And leading things off for the Royals, it'll be Scott Podsednik, Dennis Kendall, DeJesus, Butler, Jose Guillen having another nice year with 14 home runs so far. Cayespo, Aviles, Meyer, former Mariner, Unieski, Betancourt will hit tonight. Take a look at the numbers for Felix Hernandez this year, trying to get that ERA back under 3. 121 innings pitched for him.
Well, he has been phenomenal in his last 3 starts. He's gone at least 9 innings. And Scott Podsednik takes the delivery a little bit high, ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. I know it was a disappointment for him not to be named to the American League All-Star squad. Cliff Lee was. And the count, 2 balls and no strikes on Podsednik. 64 degrees, but the weatherman says we're going to be warming up throughout the week. Might even be into the 80s by midweek before the Yankees get here, and that is a strike. The man calling balls and strikes is Ted Barrett, with Tony Randazzo at first base, Brian Gorman at second, and Paul Nauert around at third. As I recall, the man behind the plate, Ted Barrett, calling balls and strikes, is the only man to ever eject Edgar Martinez.
Is that right?
From a ball game, I think so. And that's a strike. 3-2. Well, the Royals have been playing good baseball. They were 12-23 when Ned Yost took over. They're a game over 500 since that time. 3-2 pitch is popped up in the left field straight away. And Michael Saunders, the easy catch out there.
Take a look at the rest of the defense. Saunders, Gutierrez, and Ichiro in the outfield. Across the infield today, it'll be Lopez, Jack Wilson at shortstop, Higgins at second. Casey Kochman's been swinging the bat well. He's back at first base, and Rob Johnson will do the catching.
It has been home sweet home for the Mariners this year. Not only are they a couple of games over 500, as that fastball misses high and inside to Jason Kendall, but they've won 5 of their last 6 here at Safeco Field and have an ERA of under 1. That's line down the left field line toward the corner, going to drop down for a base hit. And Kendall will make the turn and hold over at first base with a long single. Let's not forget that Kansas City's going to get a lot of hits. They lead both leagues. They lead the major leagues in hitting with a .282 batting average. Their problem is they don't have much power, and they really have to bunch 3 or 4 hits together to score a run. That sounds familiar. Sounds like another club to me.
Well, it does. And take a look at the slugging percentage, 18th. Walks, certainly don't walk much, 29th. Pitches per plate appearance, they're swinging a lot. Strike out much. Doesn't look like they're very patient club. They're trying to put the ball in play right away.
David DeJesus hitting .327. Bingo. 1-1 to count. Mariners' only trip to Kansas City resulted in a couple of victories in 3 games. This is the first of 2 trips to Seattle for Kansas City. And a great sinker. DeJesus, one of the finer outfielders in the game, and certainly for Kansas City, one of their building blocks. As he takes a breaking ball in the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes, and having an outstanding year offensively, at least from an average standpoint. Wilson. Fine play by the Mariners shortstop.
Take a look at it. This ball hit right on the button. Ball slicing away from Jack, so a nice play for him. Kendall wasn't far enough from first base to try a throw over there, but a nice catch.
Well, there's Billy Butler, and I didn't really realize he'd had that many base hits. Yesterday he had a third inning single, and it was his 500th career hit already. He turned 24 on April the 18th of this year, the youngest active player in the majors to have 500 or more hits. And he has got some true long ball power. Two 2-0. He has taken Felix deep. Two and one. The Royals 8 games back in the American League Central, behind Detroit and Minnesota, who are tied, or were tied going into today's play. Fastball fouled away. Eric Bedard, as you probably know by now, has been scratched from tomorrow night's assignment of getting his first start of the year, coming up with some discomfort, and he's going to be examined by a doctor, and it's not known, quite frankly, when he is going to go to the mound now. And Ryan Roland Smith will take his spot. There's Eric. Ryan Roland Smith will take his spot tomorrow. 2-2.
See, the first couple of pitches to Butler down. That's where you want to pitch him.
Butler chops at it and just barely gets a piece of it.
The movement on Felix's fastball just tied him up. Ball really ran in hard on Butler's hands. Like it was going to be middle in, ended up well inside. Emergency hack here by Butler, just trying to get a piece of it. You can see the movement of it. An awkward swing. Let's see Billy Butler take too many swings like that.
And a fastball blowing down, up and in. So nothing doing for Kansas City here in the first. They get a hit, they leave a man. Good to have you with us. Mariners coming
Tonight, leading things off will be Ichiro Figgins, Russell Brandon with a 3-run home run in yesterday's game. Then it's Lopez, Gutierrez. Casey Cochran played the last 2 days in Detroit. He has swung the bat well. Johnson, Jack Wilson, and then Saunders hits 9th. Take a look at the numbers for Bannister. High ERA, almost 5.5 for him. He's given up 14 home runs this year.
He was on a roll a little earlier, as we mentioned. He'd won 5 in a row as the fastball is on the outside corner to Phillies. And, of course, his dad was a left-handed star for the Mariners back in the early 80s, Floyd Bannister. And Ichiro takes up and in. And congratulations again to Ichiro. Yesterday named as the starting right fielder for the American League. 10-time All-Star now. That's line down the left field line. Not by much. 109 hits. We officially start the second half of the campaign tonight. This is game number 82. So 109 times 2, there you go. But I have an idea he's going to get more than 218 hits. Broke his bat. Or at least it sounded like it. Yeah, he did.
He broke it. 91-mile-an-hour fastball in on his hands. Bannister not overpowering. He changed speeds on his fastball. Tries to keep the ball on the ground. Had some issues with that this year. 14 home runs he's given out.
I'll bet you would be amazed at how much a broken Ichiro bat would bring at a charity auction. Game-used bat like that. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count.
Well, have you bid on a couple of them?
Well, yeah, I have. I didn't buy one. Here's a ground ball off the glove of the pitcher. That'll be a base hit and an infield hit for Ichiro. His 23rd infield hit of the year and number 110.
We'll take a look at Chopper. It would have been a tough play for Betancourt anyways, but once Bannister knocks the ball down, Betancourt did the right thing. Just stick it in your pocket. No chance to get Ichiro. It'll be another infield hit for him.
And Sean Figgins will be the hitter. If you've got a couple of Ichiro fans and you got that broken bat up there, and of course there's going to be pine tar on it. You know it's been used. And after all, it is from the magic forest in Japan, where they have the magic wood. You get a couple of Ichiro fans bidding on a broken bat like that, expect to spend at least $500. Foul at the plate. Now you might get a Mike Blauer's bat for $4.99.
$4.99.
Figgy. I look for Figgy to have a much better second half.
Well, I can see why you would say that. He swung the bat pretty well over the last month. He's raised his average up to almost 240. A lot of times you wouldn't think much about that for a guy that's a 290 career hitter, but from where he was at, it's going to take him a little while to get up to what the norm is for him, and to get there, he's going to have to be hot. He's been swinging the bat better, especially from the left side.
It'll be interesting to hear the response in the announcement of the man on deck when he comes to the plate, coming back to Seattle after a great year here last year. There he is, the muscle, Russell Brandon.
A nice road trip too. Made a couple of home runs.
Changeup. So down goes Figgy, and here comes Mr. Branyan, the designated hitter this evening. responds to the return of Russell to Safeco Field. A crowd of 20,000 or so, maybe a few over 20,000 here tonight. We've got room for you tomorrow night. Ryan Roland Smith will get the call against Cy Young Award winner Zach Greinke.
Productive days for Branyan and Kochman, both of them with 3-run home runs in the game. Casey also had a couple of walks in the game yesterday, along with his 3 hits.
Ichiro yesterday picking up his 23rd steal. Strike. Mike pointed out, Bannister can give up the long ball. He's given up 14 of them.
That last changeup up in the zone. As the game progresses, he won't get away with that pitch very often.
Fouled away as Ichiro was running. So the count 0-2. You've got to protect the runner. Might have been a hit and run. Slow breaking ball.
The Royals with a few former Mariners on their club. Already seen Podsednik, Jose Guillen, Betancourt out at shortstop, and Teixeira now in their bullpen.
Willie Bloomquist.
Willie Bloomquist.
And he throws it away.
He might end up at third.
He's going to go to third. I'll guarantee you. He'll make the turn there. No, he's not. Got to pick up your third base coach. He turned around. If he pays attention to the third base coach, he's on third base.
When Bannister went to pick him off, he threw it wide. And I thought when it hit the wall, it would kick all the way down to where the ball girl is at. Billis, the second baseman, was able to get over there in a hurry.
Branyan swings and misses at the high fastball.
All fastballs and changeups to Branyan. The last pitch up in the zone. Russell swings underneath it.
Ball under strike. Lopez, who had 25 home runs last year and almost 100 RBIs, is, I think, guaranteed to have a better second half than the first half.
Another guy that's been trending up lately. He's been swinging the bat much better.
got a pretty good pitch that time.
That's a pitch he can handle. A pitch middle in. See that last pitch right on the inside corner. He hasn't had any issues with that pitch all year. It's been the pitch away from him that he's struggled with at times this year.
Two and two. Yankees 3-2, I beg your pardon. Full count, 3-2. And a foul down the left field line.
That was a hanging breaking ball middle in.
Nice play by a fan down there.
Take a look at this last pitch. Change up, middle in. That's the pitch that Jose would like to have back.
And a high fastball belted deep to left field. That baby is off the fence. So here comes Ichiro. And down to second with an RBI double is Jose Lopez. But Sednick ran out of room, and it was close to being a home run. That was up in his eyes. So Lopez has his 32nd RBI.
Looked like another off-speed pitch that was up out of the strike zone. And you see Podsednik go up to try to make the catch. The ball hits off the fence.
That's right off the yellow line up there. That was 6 inches away from bouncing out of here, I think, or going over the fence. And Franklin Gutierrez will be the hitter. Anthony's. And a curveball that time. He's down a couple of strikes.
Well, along with scoring a run so far here in the first, they've made him work. 24 pitches. Throwing a lot of strikes. It's the quality of them that has hurt him a little bit here in the first inning.
Took a little bit off his fastball. He can throw 91, 92. That was 88. And a curveball again, and a slow ground ball hit to third, and charging in to make the play, Gallaspo. And so the Mariners do get one on a couple of hits, an error, and lead one. And after one, lead it 1-0. As far as first pitches are concerned, they're very similar, Mike.
Well, they are. They both like to work ahead in first pitch strikes. I think the telling number for Felix is look at what the league is hitting off of him if he throws a first pitch strike. Just 172, 100 points difference if he throws a first pitch ball. We've always talked about that, getting ahead of hitters and how important it is. Well, those numbers show that. Yeah, first pitch strike for him.
Jose again, strike on him, and there's a chopper to shortstop. And on the run calculation, goes out game. You know, almost any pitcher, you look at those statistics, and it will be quite similar. Throwing first pitch strikes as compared to first pitch balls.
The differential in their averages? Yeah. I doubt that a lot of pitchers, even though they throw first pitch strikes, are at a 172 average. That's pretty low. Goes to show you what kind of stuff Felix has. He can put people away, but it's a big number.
Alberto Callaspo has missed the last couple of games. He's got a bone bruise in his left hand. Taking a strike. A switch hitter. Slider. Beauty.
The other thing that separates Felix from a lot of pitchers that throw hard is the type of movement he gets on his fastball and his changeup. Those pitchers that are throwing in the mid 90s to upper 90s, ball's pretty straight for the most part. And Felix has a lot of movement on his fastball. It's a huge advantage for him. You'll see him throw that fastball inside to lefties. Going to run all the way back on the inside corner, and they can usually give up on it. Same thing with his changeup.
High fastball. Still 2-2. Just got a piece of that 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Toward the hole. Figgy has it go under his glove on into right field. Callaspo is aboard.
See, Figgins will have to range over, and to do that, he gives some ground. It looks like this ball right here goes right towards the lip. It does, and comes up on and actually goes over his glove after it hits the lip of the grass. He had to give ground to catch up to the ball, but then when it hit the lip, went off the heel of his glove.
And a second baseman, Mike Aviles, will be the hitter. As you can see, Aviles having a good year average-wise. Kansas City not only leading the league in average, but in number of hits. Kansas City has one of the most respected hitting instructors, and Kevin Seitz.
Pretty good hitter in his own right. Long-time third baseman for the Royals.
I always remember him pulling it back to be sure.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. 1-2.
Well, he's the guy that before he was the hitting coach with the Royals, and had his own little cages and stuff. He was giving lessons in the Kansas City area, but he's the one that Raul Ibanez gives a lot of credit to.
Yeah, when Raul was sent over here to Kansas City,
yeah,
he turned Ibanez into an outstanding hitter. I guess we tend to forget or maybe want to forget, as you look at Avila's go down on strikes, Lou Piniella was not a great fan of him.
Of who?
Of Raul.
Yeah.
Of Raul. He wasn't sure that he was ever going to be a good hitter.
Turned out to be a pretty good one.
Darn right, yeah.
Lou doesn't miss many, but he missed it on that one.
Mitch Meyer is the hitter. And that's right at the left field. There's a play out there for Michael. So here in the second, no runs, one hit. And one man left. We go to the bottom half of the second, and the Mariners up 1-0. Well, Casey Kotzman was on all 5 times yesterday afternoon at Comerica Park in Detroit. One of those times a 3-run home run. And he's taken a couple of pitches out of the strike zone. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to count on Casey Kotzman. He's played 244 consecutive games without an error. A new record. A strike on the outside corner. Two strikes now. 2-2.
Casey hadn't been playing much, and he ended up getting a start on Saturday. Ended up with a couple of base hits in that game. Got him another start yesterday, and he made the most of it.
And a nice, easy hopper right to Billy Butler. Bob Johnson will be the hitter. The Mariners hosting the Yankees, as you know, they're right around the corner. 4-game series beginning Thursday, and don't miss this series as it's the Yankees' only visit here this year. Plus, Cliff Lee is scheduled to pitch on Friday, and Felix Hernandez will take the mound Saturday. And good seats are available. Lock in your tickets today at Mariners.com. Bob Johnson takes one at the knees.
It's like when Bannister takes the velocity off his fastball, he's actually throwing a cutter. His cutter has been around 88 miles an hour. His four-seam fastball, 91, 92. Slider, 78.
just over to the right. It will make its way off the seat there. Quick hands. There we go. Look at that kid, man. That kid.
High fives all around.
Absolutely. And he's showing it to his friend there. Let me see it. That's a can of corn and an easy play for Aviles. 2 away. Willie Boom Boom. Port Orchard. He's done a good job with the Royals this year. Final year of his contract.
Plays all over the place. Still does it. Plays everywhere.
Zach Wilson letting it fly. Playing straight up and down, straight away. Nice breaking ball at the time.
Took a lot off of it, just 72 miles an hour.
New skipper Ned Yost was the skipper of the Milwaukee Brewers in 2008, and he was fired when Milwaukee actually was tied late in the year for the wild card berth in the National League. And it's been kind of a mystery ever since. There's a throw to first base, but it's not in time. Nice drive by Unieski Betancourt.
Well, we've seen this in the past. Betancourt, one of the better throwing arms. Ranges, just a good range there. Gets rid of it quickly. Throw just a little bit high. I'm not sure he would have been able to get Jack anyways. Take a look at Jack running hard the whole way. He knows it's going to be close. Ends up with a base hit.
And Michael Saunders will be the hitter. Since I would suggest you don't pay a heck of a lot of attention to this young man's batting average. It's 210 now, nothing to write home about. But you look at his stroke, and sooner or later this kid's going to be a 280 hitter. He's going to hit you 25 home runs, depending on where you have him in the batting order. Might drive you in 85 to 100 runs a year.
Might steal you 20 bags too.
Absolutely.
You know, I think that he's still young. He's very young, and we saw him last year. And I think the biggest difference we've seen out of him is he's much more aggressive when he decides to swing. He's turning it loose. He's a big kid, 6'4". He has some pop in his bat. But I think this year you just run him out there, let him play. He's going to be on that roller coaster ride where he's going to struggle at times, and he'll have his good weeks too where he gets hot. And in the end, if he's somewhere between 240, 250, hits you a few home runs, I think it's a nice step towards next year.
Down low, lost him, ball 4. And Ichiro, who had the infield hit last inning, up for his second at bat. Because Ichiro really doesn't walk that much. He's always amongst the league leaders in at-bats. And he is again this year. He's number 4 in the league with, coming into this game, 332 at bats. Michael Young of the Texas Rangers has 339. Derek Jeter, number 2, with 338, and Denard Span of the Twins with 325. All those people with a lot of at-bats usually have a good batting average.
Well, they're usually going to be upwards of around 200 hits if you're going to get that many at-bats. And he's an aggressive hitter. We know that. He sees a lot of pitches because he fouls so many pitches off.
Too high. 1-2. Already 50 pitches in the second inning for Mr. Bannister. And a high chopper, slowly hit to second, and they try to make the tag there. They do get the runner. Michael Saunders trying to belly flop into the bag at second base. Second base umpire Brian Gorman calling him out. So at the end of 2, did he? We open the page on chapter 3 of this one is Unieski Betancourt. Takes the delivery from Felix, a little outside and high. Ball 1 ball, and no strikes to count. Broke his back. That ball was right on the handle. And Lopez throws him out. Okay, our AT&T trivia question. Talking about 9 innings of work, the way the Mariners pitchers have been going, Cliff Lee and Felix Hernandez. Who was the last pitcher to throw more than 9 innings in a game? Since the last pitchers, I guess, I mean, one guy. Roy Halladay, Aaron Harang, Mark Mulder, or Bartolo Colon. And there's where you can send your 95323. That's where you can text your answer.
Do you know the answer?
No, I don't. I guess. I think it's been a couple 3 years. It goes more than 9 innings, which means 10 innings or more. And I don't think they mean fractions of innings, 9 1/3 or 9 2/3. Although they might. More than 9, so it'd be 9 1/3 and 2/3. 3-1 pitches outside, just got for Sedney.
I don't know. I would think that Halliday had to. I'll go with Halliday.
Well, we understand that all 4 of those are the only ones with more than 9 innings in a game since 2000. 10 years. Jason Kendall is the hitter. Who are you guessing?
I'm going with Halliday.
Inside ball 1, 1-0. Just because it seems like the least likely. I'm going to guess Aaron Harang. That fastball is high and inside ball 2, 2-0. Felix struggling a little bit with his command here in the 3rd inning.
Talking about Casey Kochman and his errorless streak. I think he might be the best in the league on that quick tag from the pitcher over. You know, every now and then I think he might steal one for you because he's so good at catching the ball and putting the tag down quickly.
One hopper around the horn they go. 5, 4, and 3. Here in the 3rd, lights out. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left, and it's still 1-0 Mariners. How about Angie? Sean Figgins, the Mariners' second baseman, leads it off here in the 2nd inning. Down low. Jesus. Well, nice to have some visitors, some 18-year-old kids from New Zealand. That's a New Zealand flag. I'm very familiar with that, having had my grandson born in Auckland, New Zealand. Made a couple of trips down there, and they formed a softball team up here to play some games against Americans. We're happy to have them in the Seattle area. Welcome, guys. Russell Branyan takes down low. It's dead of winter down there right now.
Has to be pretty neat for them to show up here in the stadium like this and watch some baseball. We saw an Ichiro jersey in there, so they get to see him.
1 ball, 1 strike to count. Broken bat. And a little looper hit into center field. Gonna be caught. My grandson Stephen was born in Auckland, and he's kind of a towhead. Just a tinge of red in his hair. We've always called him the Golden Kiwi.
Did you enjoy your time there?
Loved it.
Yeah. You said you made a couple of trips?
Yeah. Here's Jose Lopez. My wife made 4. Breaking ball down low and outside.
It's got to be around the babies. You know.
Absolutely.
That.
Can't blame her. And a high fly ball popped up to left field. And an easy inning here for Mr. Bannister. 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Rick Riz is coming along to join you for the rest of the game. 1-0.
From today's question, who was the last pitcher to throw more than 9 innings in a game? And you thought it was Roy Halladay, 39% of you fans, and so did Mike Blowers. And the answer is Aaron Harang back on July 23rd of 2007 threw more than 9 innings in a ball game. Hi again, everybody. Rick Riz along with Mike Blowers on a beautiful night here in Seattle. How you doing, buddy?
Good to see you, Ricky.
Nice to see you, too. Felix Hernandez off to a good start.
He is. Obviously, Bannister so far has really controlled the damage. He has really struggled, and Felix having a much easier time of it, but you would hope that the Mariners will be able to add on to what they've done, because Bannister has struggled, although he looked good in that last inning. But Felix, to me, looks like he's back in command of it, and he's been on a nice run.
I tell you what, over the last few outings, 9 innings in his last 3 starts, and he was outstanding in New York, only 2 hits. Fly ball off the bat of DeJesus, shallow down the left field line. It's going to drop in, a fair ball taken by Saunders, the throw to second base. So David DeJesus with a leadoff single down the left field line. So the Royals have the tying run aboard. They're playing much better baseball, Mike. 24-23 with their new manager, Ned Yost. And I was talking with Ned before the ball game. He said, I'm just giving my coaching staff more responsibility, and there's an accountability from the players, and they're playing better baseball.
Sometimes, for whatever reason, a different look, a different voice, if you will, Rick, makes a difference.
Yeah, same message, different voice. Sometimes here is Billy Butler. Struck out in the top of the first inning. Ground ball, chopper near the bag at third, waiting. Lopez has it, toss across, and it's in time to get Butler for the out. And on the play, De Jesus will get down to second base. So 1 on, 1 away. That guy's done a heck of a job at third base, Mike.
Jose has really played well defensively over at third. You know, a lot of questions about that coming out of spring training. I think he surprised a lot of people with his arm strength more than anything, because you know you kind of get pigeonholed as a second baseman. Well, you don't have the strong arm, but don't forget he played a lot of shortstop coming up through the minor leagues, so his arm strength has been a plus for him. But he's really done a nice job defensively.
Took to the new spot very quickly at spring training. Here's designated hitter Jose Guillen. He sends a foul ball out of play in the first base side, and the count is 0-1. Kansas City, yeah, they're on top in the American League in hitting, batting .282, but it really hasn't translated, Mike, into a lot of offense and a lot of runs. 8th in runs scored.
Those big hits to drive in runs are the tough ones to get, Rick.
They don't have a whole lot of power. Next pitch is down and in on Guillen for ball 1, 1 ball and 1 strike.
You take a look at it, and Guillen is the guy with the power. He has 14 home runs, 52 RBIs, so he's on pace for 28 and 100 RBIs for him. Another nice year.
Look at the standings in the American League Central. It'll be a tight race between Detroit, Minnesota, Chicago. Ground ball back up the middle. Wilson can't get to it. De Jesus went back to the bag at second to make sure it went through. Now takes off for third. So Jose Guillen with a base hit, and here come the Royals, first and third with 1 away.
And the Mariners really catch a break here. This is a bad read by De Jesus. You see him going back to the bag. He just didn't know where Jack was playing at all. And anytime that ball is not hit very sharply right there, take off the third with his speed, and then he probably scores on us. So the Mariners, I think, catch a little bit of a break.
Anything to the left of the shortstop.
That was more right at him, you know. And I think if it's right at you, it's a tougher call. If it's hit hard, then you obviously want to go back. Yeah. But on a ball that kind of jammed in, and Jack was playing way over in the hole, he should have known where Jack was. That would have been a tough play. Jack would have had to go to his left to make the play. I think the Mariners catch a break.
And Callaspo fouls one out of play on the third base side, and the count is 0-1 on the Royals' third baseman with a single in the second. So Felix Hernandez, Mike, looking to get that two-seam fastball working, trying to get a sharply hit ground ball right to Figgins at second base and trying to turn two. He had the double play in the third. There's a bouncy ball foul on the first base side, taken by your buddy Rusty Kuntz, who has come up as a roving minor league instructor, back to coach with Kansas City.
My first outfield coach.
Great guy. I like Rusty.
Hadn't played the outfield at all in high school, college, or through the minor leagues. And when I went to the big leagues, I said, yeah, that's another position you better learn. And Rusty, who used to have me out there all the time working with me. Good instructor.
Down and away for ball 1, 1 and 2. And Mike, if you talk to Jay Buhner about, you know, what made him or who made him a fine defensive outfielder, he said that guy right there, Rusty Kuntz. Jay Buhner won a Gold Glove a few years back, and he gave Rusty a lot of credit. Callaspo fights one off, fouls it away, and the count is still 1-2.
And you can see where those pitches are, Rick. He's trying to get that two-seam fastball away from Callaspo so that he can get the double play. I think sometimes to the left-handed hitters, a changeup will work also.
Yeah, speed up the bat.
Well, and he has so much movement on his changeup, it's going to dive away from the left-handed hitter.
Pops it up on a play behind home plate, and the count is still 1-2 on Callaspo. And almost made the catch in the upper deck off to our left. So Felix trying to get himself out of a jam. Here's a look at the speed of his pitches in this at bat.
You know, the one at 83 miles an hour was a breaking ball, but the rest of them are fastballs away.
Looking for that ground ball. Breaking ball, fly ball, right center field. Going back is Franklin Gutierrez near the warning track to make the catch. Tagging and scoring from third is De Jesus, and the Royals tie it up at 1-1 here in the top half of the fourth inning. So give Callaspo a sacrifice fly to right center field. 2 outs in the inning, 1 run in for the Royals. Say, friends, the first run around the bases is set for Sunday with the Mariners face off with the Yankees. All future stars 14 and under are invited down to the field to take a lap around the bases courtesy of Key Bank. For tickets, visit Mariners.com or any Mariners team store location. There's some future superstars. Check swing by Mike Aviles. And Aviles takes a look at ball 1. And right now they're busy working on the ice cream, Mike.
Get to the ice cream first while the sun is still up. Yeah.
Fouled away by Aviles, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Remember as a kid going out to Comiskey Park, my dad would take myself and my brother, and they had the chocolate malteds.
Oh, yeah.
And
wooden spoon?
With the wooden spoon,
That's
baby.
right.
Oh,
That's right.
my goodness. That was good. Dad brought his glove to the ballpark. A souvenir for his son. Ground ball back up the middle, but Jack Wilson is there. Little pop flip over to Sean Figgins at second for the force on Guillen, and that'll retire the side. Kansas City 1 run, a couple of hits, they tie it up. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Mariners 1, Kansas City 1. First inning. Let's check out the crowd here at Safeco Field in the Budweiser first inning and see who's enjoying the ball game. There's a Bud. Fans out there in the left center field landing here at Safeco Field. Plenty of sunshine right now.
I bet that'll be a popular place for the rest of the homestand. The weather's supposed to be in the 80s the rest of the way.
You bet. Come on by Safeco Field. Franklin Gutierrez leading off the bottom half of the 4th inning. Game tied at 1. Kansas City run in the top of the 4th inning on a sacrifice fly by Alberto Callaspo. 1-0 the count on Gutierrez. 1-1. Yeah, the temperature, Mike, is supposed to get up in the 80s.
Kept telling everybody that summer was going to get here.
I know. I was afraid that if somebody asked me later on in the winter, when was summer, I was going to have to say, I think it was a Thursday. Fly ball to right field. Gutierrez flies out. 1 out for the Mariners here in the bottom half of the 4th.
You know what, Ricky? The guys actually caught a break. Us going through New York, and if you look at the temperatures now, they're 100 degrees there. So the guys really caught a break not having to deal with that weather. When we were there, it was in the 80s, but nothing like that with the humidity that they're having. So it was a nice trip for them weather-wise.
Sun glistening off the back windows high above the upper deck here at Safeco Field, and it was really warming up in Detroit after we left. Here's first baseman Casey Kochman with a swing and a foul back.
Yeah, that was the first day of it. Yesterday's game. It was 91 degrees in that game. I think it was by about the 6th inning. It was up to 91.
Temperature getting up there. Casey Kochman, Mike, swinging a good bat the last couple of ball games. Bounces one along the first base side. Scooped up by Billy Butler. Goes to the bag for the out on Casey. 2 outs in the inning. 1-1 tie. That's good to see. Say this Thursday, the Mariners meet the Yankees, and it's a night you're going to receive a cap designed to be worn just like the kid intended, backwards. The first 20,000 fans pick up a Ken Griffey Jr. backwards cap courtesy of ING Direct. Purchase your tickets today at any Mariners team store or Mariners.com. Rick Riz along with Mike Flowers and our associate director, the one and only, the best in the business, Robbie Nielsen. Right, Mike?
He has to deal with me on a daily basis, right?
He's got to be a good guy. Rob Johnson takes down and away ball one. I've known Robbie for what, 28 years now. Johnson is 0 for 1, has popped up to the second baseman of Vilas.
28 years.
How about that? He's been
and he still speaks kindly of you.
I know, isn't that amazing? Brian Bannister. The 2-0. Up and in, ball 3, 3-0 the count.
Bannister really struggled right through those first couple of innings. 26 pitches in the first, 25 in the second. Mariners only getting the 1 run off of him. He looks like he's settling in now. Starting to hit his corners as he walks Rob Johnson, but you could tell early on, especially his breaking ball and his changeup, he was leaving him up in the zone. And the number that we were talking about for him is the 14 home runs he's given up this year. And Jose Lopez almost had one, hit off the fence out in left center field. He's the one that drove in the 1 run that the Mariners have. And you want to take advantage of a pitcher, especially in starters, especially. I think most of them, the first couple of innings is when they really struggle. They to get comfortable, especially when they're on the road, like Bannister has been.
The walk breaks a string of 6 in a row retired by Bannister. This is Jack Wilson, and Jack takes a look at ball 1. Jack had the single in the second inning, infield base hit. Jack hitting .250, no home runs, 9 runs batted in. Up and in, spins away, ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes.
Jason Kendall, the veteran catcher, will go out and have a conversation with him, try to get him back in line. Did you know Brian's dad?
Yeah, Floyd. Yeah, one of the top players.
Good left-handed pitcher
in the early '80s.
Yeah.
Floyd in 1980 led the Mariners in ERA, innings pitched, and strikeouts. In 1981, he led the Mariners in wins, Mike, with 9. That was the strike-shortened season.
That's right.
In 82, he led the Mariners in wins with 12, innings pitched with 247.
He had to be an all-star in there sometime, right?
Yeah. When he was with the White Sox, he went to the White Sox the following year and helped Chicago to a division title. But they lost to Baltimore in '83, and Baltimore went to the World Series. And they won that year against the Philadelphia Phillies. But with Floyd Bannister, the White Sox were a mighty good ball club in 1983. Wilson takes a strike, 3-1. Floyd grew up right here in Seattle, went to Kennedy High School.
Oh, he did. I didn't know that.
Popped up. Coming down the third base line is Alberto Callaspo. Callaspo makes the catch, a little wobbly halfway toward home, but he's able to hang on to it. That'll end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man Mariners and the Royals all tied at 1-1 as we go. Okay, Angie, we go to the top of the 5th inning. Mariners and the Royals tied at 1-1. Mitch Meyer will lead things off. And there is ball 2. Mariners a run in the bottom of the 1st inning on an RBI double by Jose Lopez. Kansas City ties it in the 4th. Sacrifice fly by Callaspo. Back to the mound, handled by Felix. Soft toss to first. And Meyer is out number 1. All right, Mike, it's time to pass out some rally fries.
Oh, weather's getting better. Start giving out some fries again. I like this sign. It's not my birthday. It's not my first game, and I'm not from Walla Walla. Can I get some fries?
Very honest kid.
Yeah, I think it's deserving. I like the sign.
And Angela brings by the rally fries for the young man. Not his birthday, not his first game, not from Walla Walla. You got him. Broken bat, fly ball off the bat of Uni. Foul out of play in the left field side, and the count is 0-1.
That was kind of scary, that broken bat by Uni. Went all the way out to where the on deck circle is. Scott Podzegnik on deck. He just sawed it right in half.
During the course of a season, Mike, did you bust a lot of bats? Did you? How many bats would you go through in a typical year?
Gosh, that's a great question. I don't remember having him sawed off like that last one from Bencourt. Everybody breaks bats. I broke my share, no doubt about it. But I don't remember, like now we see the bats flying out all over the field. I don't remember it really being that way.
I don't remember it either.
You're right.
Like it has been.
I couldn't even guess how many. A lot.
What brought it up is Ichiro broke his bat.
Right.
And he usually doesn't break a bat. Blown outside in the dirt. Here's the bat that Uni started the at bat. It's a black stained bat. Yuniesky Betancourt, Seattle Mariners. Still has one of his Mariner bats. Oh, way to go, Uni. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Felix strikes him out. 2 outs for the Royals here in the top of the 5th inning. That is strikeout number 3 for Felix. Felix struck out 11, walked 3 in his last outing in the 7-0 shutout win against the Yankees in New York. Dominating performance.
We were talking about Ichiro, and he doesn't break many bats. I think the biggest reason why is he lets the ball get deep, and he stays inside the baseball so well. He doesn't have that long power swing that you see from a lot of guys, and the pitch is inside. He actually tries to hit those pitches the other way.
Yeah. Scott Posednik has walked and flied out.
I think he gets the barrel of the bat to the ball probably more often than anybody in this league.
Yeah.
And it may not be an aggressive swing. A lot of times we see him, he just kind of flips the ball into left field. Still catching the barrel. There's just not a lot behind it, but it's always in that area somewhere.
And you didn't see Wade Boggs breaking a lot of bats either. He kind of did the same thing.
No, and I think guys that are more aggressive with their swings and trying to do damage, hit the ball in the gaps and out of the ballpark, you're going to see them break a lot more bats.
Curve ball for a strike at the knees, and it's 1-2 on Posednik. Posednik, his first major league hit in a Mariner uniform. Pinch hit triple. Check swing, and he fouls one away that was low. I don't know if that was in the dirt or not, and it's still 1-2 on Ponce. The other bat that he was using is a Jose Lopez bat. So Uni can't quite leave Seattle all the way. The 1-2 for Felix. Bounces it, ball 2, 2-2.
That's really not that unusual. Betancourt spent a lot of years there. He and Jose, good friends, obviously. Yeah. But guys trade bats all the time, and especially if you're struggling, just switch it up a little bit, maybe for a few games, see if you can get it going again.
Line drive caught by Jack Wilson. It short a step to his left. The ball came back the other way, stayed with it, and he's got it for out number 3. We're at the halfway point, bottom of the 5th, tied at 1. right, Angie. Michael Saunders leading off the bottom of the 5th inning takes a breaking ball down and in for ball 1. Mariners 1, Kansas City 1. Line shot, fair ball down the right field line, hits off the seats and angle out. Michael heading for second, up with the ball. David DeJesus. Saunders coasted into second base with a leadoff double, and holy smokes, he turned on that 1-0 pitch from Brian Bannister.
Take a look at the swing by Saunders, trying to go inside. He hits this ball hard down the right field line. Another one of the things we've seen the improvement of Michael Saunders. Rips it past the first baseman, Butler. I don't know if you noticed it or not, Rick, but when he was running the bases, about 2/3 of the way to second, picked up his third base coach, picked him up before he got to second, picked him up after he touched it.
Because of what happened a few days back, Ichiro takes ball 1. Keep your eyes on that third base coach. He's your traffic cop.
Yeah, long strides. He can really run. You take a look at it. There he is, picking up his coach, pick him up again. Hit the base, pick him up. There you go. And I think the reason why is on the road. He made a mistake by not doing that. Young players do it from time to time, and you could see the coach is talking to him right away. So
yeah,
I'll bet you for the long career that he's about to have, he'll never do it again.
Nope.
I bet he'll pick up his coach every time.
One time. That's all it took.
Yep.
Little talk from Wack or Lee Tinsley, and that'll do it. Go ahead, run on at second base. Ichiro 1 for 2, sends a ground ball to the right side. He'll send Saunders along to third. He's out at first, 4-3 the put out, ground ball to Aviles, the second baseman. So now the go ahead run 90 feet away. Say, join Major League Baseball in helping those veterans who have done so much to help our country. Log on to MLB.com or welcomebackveterans.org for more information on how you can make a difference. Our many thanks to the men and women of the armed forces.
And a productive out for Ichiro to move the runner up. Kansas City will bring their infield in.
Sean Figgins, the hitter. Ground ball, a chance to get on through, and that pitch is inside from Bannister, ball 1. What was it like for you as a hitter in this situation? Infield up close. You get the ball in the air to the big part of the outfield, you're going to score a run to take the lead.
Yeah, you are, but you know, for me, I never thought of it that way. I learned in the minor leagues, one of the things that I was taught was don't worry about when the infield comes in, because a lot of hitters all of a sudden they panic a little bit and try.
Yeah.
I have to hit the ball in the air. I have to hit it in the air. And I was taught, instead of thinking that way, think more up the middle, other way, and you'll hit the ball in the air more often by doing that.
Line drive the other way into left field for a base hit. That'll score Michael Saunders from third, and the Mariners have a 2-1 lead over Kansas City. RBI single for Sean Figgins. And Mike thinking the other way. He went the other way, got the base hit.
Sean Figgins has really done a nice job in this situation this year. He's now 10 out of 11 with a runner on third and less than 2 outs this year, Rick. He's really done a nice job, and it's that right there. Nice inside-out swing, line drive in the left field. Nice piece of hitting.
Mariners 2, Kansas City 1. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning.
And I wouldn't be surprised if in the first couple of pitches, Figgins takes off for second, tries to steal a base right here.
Russell Branyan, the hitter, toss and turn over to first base by Bannister to keep an eye on Sean Figgins.
I'm sure that Sean, along with Ichiro, has the green light. He can run when he wants to run. If you feel like you can steal the bag, you can steal it. Sometimes, though, the manager has the ability to put a stop on you if he wants to. And this might be a situation where maybe that's the case because he wants to make sure that Russell gets a chance to swing the bat with his ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Every now and then they'll put a stop on it in this situation. If the hitter gets 2 strikes, they'll take it off and let him run if he wants to. But Figgins and Ichiro can pretty much run whenever they want.
Branyan yesterday hit that long home run to right center field at Comerica Park. In Detroit, pitch out. Kansas City thinking that Figgins was going to take off. So stepping off to the left side of home plate, veteran catcher Jason Kendall as the count goes to 1-1 on Branyan. But Russell hit that long home run to right center field at Comerica Park yesterday in support of Cliff Lee. The Mariners had a pair of 3-run home runs, Branyan's and Casey Kochman. Fly ball into right field and deep. Going back. DeJesus to the track, to the wall. Goodbye baseball. Russell the Muscle Branyan with his 13th home run of the year. Third in a Mariner uniform since coming over from Cleveland. And it's now the Mariners 4, Kansas City 1. Branyan a presence now in the heart of the order for the Mariners. Time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast, Mike.
Bannister was able to throw a fastball by Russell last time. This one below the belt. That's a danger zone for any pitcher in the American League pitching to Russell Branyan. You throw the fastball below the belt and middle in, his chances of hurting you go way up.
Jose Lopez with a strike. David DeJesus trying to scale that wall in right field. Felix Hernandez, a very happy guy. 4-1 Mariners lead. Lopez sends a fly ball to left center field. Getting back in time to Scott Podsednik to make the catch. 2 outs in the inning. How nice is it to have Russell Branyan back with this ball club? 31 home runs last year, and he missed the final month of the season. He had 10 home runs with Cleveland, now 3 in a Mariner uniform, 13 for the year.
And that's after missing the first month.
That's right. Two outs, nobody out for Franklin Gutierrez. Strike one. Mariners happy to have this guy back, coming over from the Indians in that trade for minor league shortstop Juan Diaz and minor league outfielder Ezekiel Carrera. Down and away, ball one, 1-1. Gutierrez has bounced out to third. He's also flied out to DeJesus in right field. Ground ball back to the mound, taken by Bannister. Underhand flip to Billy Butler at the bag, and it's in time to get Franklin for out number 3. But the Mariners get 3. A 2-run home run by Russell the Muscle Branyan. After 5, Mariners 4, Kansas City 1. Russell the Muscle Branyan with a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the Mariners now lead the Royals 4-1. We go to the top half of the 6th. Jason Kendall leads it off with a strike 0-1. Kendall is 1 for 2 on the night. Chokes up on that bad handle. Ground ball down the line. Foul. Beyond the reach of Jose Lopez, and it's 0-2 on Kendall. Felix Hernandez now with a 3-run lead here in the 6th inning. Pitch count at 74. Kansas City made him work a bit in the 1st inning with 19 inside for ball 1, 1 ball. And 2 strikes. In his last out in New York, Mike, he got out of that jam at the bottom of the first inning. Nice catch by Saunders out of left center field. Swing and a miss by Kendall, making a foul ball. Still 1-2. And then he retired 26 of the next 28 batters.
He's pitched well over his last, 4 or 5 games now.
Yeah.
He's been on a nice little run. May was a little bit of a struggle for him, but nice month of June.
Got up swinging. Strike 3, so 1 away for the Royals here in the top half of the 6th inning. Let's check in with Angie Mentink. Angie? All right, Angie, 1 out for the Royals here in the top of the 6th inning. Here's right fielder David DeJesus. Felix looking for his 7th win of the year. And Mike, I thought he had a good shot at making the All-Star team. Of course, everybody can't make it, even though the expanded rosters now stand at 34 for each club. But especially with the way that he pitched in front of Joe Girardi his last outing in New York.
Maybe that's the reason why he didn't.
I don't know. I want that guy on my team.
Well, I agree. And, the thing about it is as you look at the All-Star game, I know that what Felix's record 6-5 coming into the game, a lot of people put a lot on that, but a lack of run support has hurt him quite a bit this year. And I don't know. You can't tell me he's not one of the best 5 pitchers in this league.
He is. How about 2 outings ago? He went 9 innings, got a no decision here in Seattle. That was that 3-2 loss against the Cubs. There's a start that should have been a win. And then against Kansas City, a 3-1 loss. He went 7 innings, gave up only 2 earned runs. Swing and a miss by DeJesus. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He's number 1 in innings pitched, number 3 in strikeouts, number 7 with a 3.03 ERA. But congratulations to Ichiro, going for his 10th consecutive season, and to Cliff Lee, his 2nd All-Star appearance coming up. Bounce foul on the first base side, 2-2.
And Rick Griffin. This is his 4th time.
Yeah. Congratulations to Rick Griffin, All-Star trainer. Mariners 4 runs on 6 hits. Kansas City a run on 4. Up and away, ball 3, full count 3-2. And again, the winner of the All-Star game, that league will have home field advantage for the World Series. That's one change that I still can't go with, because the All-Star game is an exhibition game, and it's tied to something so very important like home field advantage in a 7-game series for the World Series.
Hey, I agree with you.
DeJesus 1 for 2 with a single, and he scored the Kansas City run in the 4th inning. Up and in, ball 4. So DeJesus walks. 2nd walk given up by Felix. 1 on and 1 away. Let's take a look at our Quest High Speed pitch, brought to you by Quest High Speed Internet. Felix Hernandez, his fastball at 96. Brian Bannister, his fastball at 91. Felix also has that nasty slider, that 2-seam fastball that just breaks down in the strike zone. That
great changeup.
Billy Butler is 0 for 2, and he takes outside, ball 1. Butler with a single last night in the 11-0 loss to the Angels. That was his 500th career base hit, the most by any active player under the age of 25. Well hit left field. Michael Saunders going back. This one is on the track, bounces off the fence. DeJesus to third, being waved in by Eddie Rodriguez. The relay to the plate by Jack Wilson. DeJesus is safe at home, avoiding the tag of Rob Johnson. The relay by Jack Wilson to Johnson. Billy Butler with an RBI double, and it's now the Mariners 4 and the Royals 2.
Take a look at it. This is a closer play than I thought it was going to be. It looked like DeJesus was able to get his hand in behind, see him slide wide, just ahead of the tag. Saunders and Jack Wilson cannot do a relay any better than that. That is as good as you're going to see it. Saunders picks it up right away, gets it to Jack, and Jack got rid of the ball quickly. A nice one hop to the catcher. Rob Johnson, they did everything they could to try to cut down that run. That was a nice play.
Good relay by Jack Wilson. Here's a look at the camera from high above home plate. Johnson waiting for that throw. And DeJesus reaching in, Mike, with the left hand.
Just catches the corner of the plate. It's a nice slide.
4-2 ball game. Jose Guillen, the hitter, the count 1-0.
See how quickly Saunders gets it in. Watch Jack. Gets rid of it quickly, and it's the perfect throw.
Close play at the plate, but DeJesus getting that left hand in. Guillen 1 for 2, and he takes a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. So the Royals take advantage of the walk. Billy Butler, career base hit number 501, drives in a run for the Royals. Swing and a miss. 1-2. You're right. That was a good throw by Saunders because, Mike, you were a cutoff man and the ball hit down that left field line as a third baseman. You want to get that throw while you're starting to come back and get your body in position to make the throw to the plate. Fouled away, still 1-2.
Well, the key to it is he gets rid of it quickly and makes an accurate throw to Jack. So Jack can, as he's seeing the throw, he's facing Saunders, he'll start to turn. And because it was such a good throw to Jack, he was able to get it and get rid of it quickly, and he made an excellent throw. It's an easy, nice long hop for Rob to try to handle that ball and put a tag down. You're not going to do it any better. DeJesus with good speed just outran the relay.
If you're a cutoff man and you just have to concentrate so much on just trying to catch it, stop, and then throw, then it really makes sense.
Well, a lot of times too, we see guys that don't do it correctly. They stay with their back turn, they catch it, and then they turn to throw it. And what you want to do is once you see the ball in the air and you know you're going to be able to handle it, you're in a position, you start to turn as you catch it, and then you can get rid of it quickly. And Jack did just a perfect job of that.
1 on, 1 out, 1 in. Here at the top of the 6th inning. Check swing, fouled away. Still 1-2. Here's a look at it one more time. The double by Butler. Look how quickly Saunders gets to the ball. Barehands it, wheels around to Jack Wilson, Mike.
And you can see Jack turn. See how he's turned as he's catching it and gets rid of it quickly. Perfect one-hop throw.
Fouled away at the plate. That came back up and hit Guillen. Still 2-2. Like that's where all that hard work pays off in March. We do that time and time.
Spring training, work on it all the time. .94 pitches for Felix. Just one out here. 22 pitches already in the inning.
High pitch count. Billy Butler on at second. Tying run is at the plate. Be careful with Guillen. And he got him swinging. Strike 3. So 2 outs in the inning. Strikeout number 5 for Felix Hernandez.
Felix reaches back and just throws a fastball in the outside corner. He ain't a good fastball hitter, too. Threw it right by him.
Time now for our U.S. Marine Corps leaders of the game. Second in the American League in strikeouts with 121. Alberto Callaspo, the hitter. Butler on at second now with 2 outs. Breaking ball stays outside. Ball 1. Callaspo singled in the second, drove in a run with a sacrifice fly his last time up in the 4th inning. Ball 2. Watching Felix, especially over the last 3 or 4 weeks, Mike, I mean, he's going to battle. He's going to give you everything he's got. That's what he's done his last 5 or 6 starts. Ground ball right to second baseman Sean Figgins. Easy play. And Callaspo is out number 3. Kansas City with 1 run. They leave a man stranded at second. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Mariners now lead the Royals 4-2. Turned out to be a nice night here in Seattle for the opening game of the 3-game series with Kansas City. Then the Yankees come to town for 4. Casey Koch been a swing and a foul back, 0-1. That'll take us right up to the All-Star break. Had big plans for the All-Star break, Mike?
Yes, I do.
Relax with the kids. Ground ball to Billy Butler at first base. Handcuffs him a little bit, recovers over to the pitcher covering Bannister, 1 away. Seattle Mariners baseball on FSN is brought to you by Safeco Insurance. Find a local Safeco agent at safeco.com. By Wendy's, you know when it's real. And by Whitmer Brothers Brewing, Ordinary Brothers, Extraordinary Beer.
I will probably do what a lot of the guys are going to do, and that is not a lot.
Relax.
Give the barbecue a workout.
Oh,
yeah,
sounds good. Maybe I'll break out the barbecue. Here's catcher Rob Johnson. And he takes a strike, 0-1. Bo and CJ have a good weekend.
They did. They did. Played in the tournament over in Yakima. Had a lot of fun.
One and 1 to Colin Johnson. Ryan Bannister, start number 17 on the year. Ball 2, 2-1. His pitch count at 93. A lot of pitches in the first 2 innings, and he was settled into a groove. Ground ball back to the mound, taken by Bannister. Underhand flip to Butler. So 2 down. Let's check in with Angie back at our FSN studios. All right, thank you, Angie. And here is shortstop Jack Wilson. Fun attempt down in front of the plate, but it's a foul ball. Just foul off to the left side of home plate. On it quickly is veteran catcher Jason Kendall, and it's 0-1 on Jack trying to bunt his way aboard. Kendall has started 78 of the Royals' 83 games this year. This guy is in there every night behind the plate, Mike.
It's always been that way for him. He does not want to take many days off. Worked his way back from just a terrible injury years ago when he was with Pittsburgh Pirates. I believe he broke his leg. It was. I remember seeing that. Jason used to, for a catcher, well, for anybody really, he ran well. And doesn't run like he used to. But.
Low for ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes. His dad, Fred Kendall, was a catcher in the big leagues for years.
Fred probably told him the whole time he was growing up. No days off.
Breaking ball and a swing and a miss by Wilson for strike 3, and that'll end the inning. 1-2-3, bottom of the 6th. We go to the 7th. Mariners lead Kansas City 4-2. Hernandez, and why not? The Mariners lead by a score of 4-2 as we go to the top half of the 7th inning. And Mike, Rob Johnson, a little something wrong with Robbie right now, though he's smiling, being looked at by Mariner trainer Rob Nodine off on your left there, and manager Don Wakamatsu. But they're checking up on Rob Johnson.
Well, when he walked out to the mound, it looked like that maybe it was something with his thumb. A lot of times, because of the movement of Felix's fastball, if you catch it wrong, you hit it on your thumb, and can really hurt. And the way he was moving his hand around before he put it back in his glove, I think that was an issue. But I don't think Rob Johnson's going to come out because his thumb hurts. Do you?
No, not at all. Tough kid from Montana. No way. 4-2 Mariners lead. Mike Aviles will lead things off. Aviles is 0 for 2 on the night.
When you're growing up, Rick, did you ever catch?
One game in Little League, and the equipment was bigger than me.
Right.
I put on the chest protector and just brought it down behind home plate in the chest protector. Ground ball down the line. Diving try. Lopez gets on by. Up with the ball is Saunders, and he's going to keep Aviles to a leadoff single. And the chest protector was on the ground. It's huge. That was the only game I caught.
Royals, an aggressive hitting team, hits it by Lopez. You can see him playing up, trying to take the bunt away from Aviles, and just couldn't get his glove down in time. Well, I asked because anybody that has caught, at some point you're going to take a fastball off the thumb, and they know what I'm talking about. And it's painful. I remember the first time that I'd ever tried it was after I was in the big leagues, and I ended up going down to instructional league to work on some catching, to be the third emergency catcher. And the first time that happened to me, it doesn't take me. It's not fun, and I think it's worse than having to block balls or any of the other things these guys do.
Mitch Meyer with a swing and a miss, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. I mean, to go through an entire season as a major league catcher, I mean, you take a beating back there. I mean, number one, you got the collision of home plate. You know, you got to catch a ball. There's a play at the plate earlier with De Jesus scoring in the top half of the 6th inning, but it's things like that.
Well,
pitches that move.
That's why the few catchers that are out there that are exceptional hitters, I have a lot of respect for, because these guys, their hands take a beating, their legs, you know, they're squatted down like that. It's a difficult thing to do, and so the ones that can do it, oh man, special.
Easy.
Yeah, we'll see many of them.
2-2 on Mitch Meyer. I talked with Dave Valley and also Danny Wilson, and you were with the ball club at the time trying to catch Randy Johnson every 5 days. Brian Sweeney warming up down to the bullpen. He's done a nice job since coming up from AAA Tacoma.
Yes, he has. Throws strikes, not overpowering at all, mixes it up.
Ball 3, full count. Already 105 pitches for Felix through 26 pitches last inning. On deck, Yuniesky Betancourt. Swing and a miss, and a pitch in the dirt for strike 3. Runner on at first base, so Meyer is out. Strikeout number 6 for Felix Hernandez. And how about that movement? 1 away, 1 on. And here's Yuniesky Betancourt. Let's see what kind of bat he's using. His buddies, Jose Lopez model.
I would think that Jose's model is close to his, and sometimes guys exchange bats and just trying to mix it up a little bit with their luck. You know, things aren't going well, try somebody else's bat. We saw Betancourt's bat earlier. I think I saw that the model on it was a G174, I believe, is what I saw on it.
Yeah.
Guys have their own bat models, and they order their bats, and they get them by the dozens as the year goes through. You know, they're constantly getting those bats. But sometimes, like anything, it gets a little stale, doesn't feel right. You just want to switch it up for a little bit.
Right.
Nothing else, even just to change the lock. But, you know, there you go, the G174. That's the model number that Betancourt uses. But you know, so he'll order it, same length, weight, all of that throughout the year. But sometimes you need to switch it up. And guys will do that. And, you know, like I said earlier, he and Lopez are friends. And he probably asked Jose for a couple of his bats to see if he can get a couple of hits. And there's nothing unusual with that. That happens all the time.
If you use the rolled up Seattle Times and get a base hit, you're going to use it again. Fly ball left field. Saunders is there. Michael will make the catch. Yoni's out number 2. Brings up Pasednik. Let's take a look at the Mariners calendar, brought to you by Sleep Country USA. The Mariners with 2 more coming up with the Royals, and then the Bronx Bombers come to town for a 4-game series, Mike, and that'll take us right up to the 3-day All-Star break.
It's nice for the Mariners, especially the guys that are on the All-Star team, Ichiro and Cliff Lee, Rick Griffin going to LA, because they can just stay there because the club will be there at the end of the break. But it's a nice short turnaround for the guys.
Pasednik takes a look at a strike on 1. So that'll be an easy trip for Mr. Lee and Ichiro and Rick Griffin to stay right there in Anaheim. The ball club will get there for this series with the Angels. And the dirt gets on by Rob Johnson all the way to the backstop, and down to second goes Mike Aviles with a wild pitch. The count goes to 1-1 on Pasednik. Felix Hernandez will give Rob Johnson a workout. Those pitches, Mike, are just flying around all over the place.
It's tough. You don't expect a fastball to be in the dirt. You know, if he's going to throw a breaking ball or a changeup as a catcher, you're ready to block that pitch. But a fastball in the dirt is tough, and especially with Felix because he has so much movement on his fastball. One and 2 on Pasednik.
with Aviles on at second base. 4-2 Mariners lead. That fastball is up and away. Ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sednick has flied out to Saunders in left, walked, and he's lined out to Jack Wilson at short. Fly ball down the left field line. Slicing over as Michael Saunders into the corner, reaches back, and he makes the catch. Inside fair territory down the left field line onto the warning track. Saunders was able to stay with it. That'll end the Retail Banking's customer satisfaction by J.D. Power and Associates. Not a bad crowd tonight, expecting about 22,000 fans. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning with the Mariners leading the Royals by a score of 4-2. Rick Riz along with Mike Flowers, our associate director up here, Robbie Nielsen. Guys down in the truck, Curtis Wilson, Mark Engelbrecht, everybody pushing all the right buttons. Saunders is swinging and miss, and the count is 0-1. Glenn Wilhelm down there in the truck pushing all the buttons. Mike, there's a lot of buttons on that. Swinging a ground ball to the right side right there of Venus. Saunders 4-3 put out, 1 out for the Mariners, brings up Ichiro. Down to the bullpen, activity for the Royals. Marte, the right-hander, Hughes, the lefty.
Bannister now 100 pitches.
Ichiro is 1 for 3. Had the infield base hit. That ticked off the glove of Bannister out towards short.
And Felix now has 112 pitches. Brandon Lee getting loose in the Mariner pen, so Felix's night might be finished.
1-1. Felix Hernandez going 7, giving up a couple of runs on 6 base hits. Ichiro fouls it back, and the count is 1-2.
It was a good example of what we were talking about earlier. Ichiro not breaking a lot of bats. That last fastball inside, it was deep, but he was able to stay inside of it. That's why he fouled so many of the pitches over the other team's dugout, third base dugout.
It's a ball out to Aviles one more time, and Ichiro's out number 2. So 2 down, and that'll bring up Sean Figgins. Say the Stars align for the 2010 Major League Baseball All-Star Game as the best of the American League take on the National League's top players. So don't miss the action coming up on Tuesday night, July the 13th at 5 p.m. Pacific on Fox. This one counts. Ichiro going along with Cliff Lee. Well deserved. Here is Sean Figgins, 1 for 3 tonight with an RBI single to left field in the 5th inning. And Figgins was aboard when Russell Branyan hit the home run to right field. That was Branyan's 13th home run of the year. On attempt off the plate, foul. 1-1. Tomorrow night, game 2 of the series. You take a look at Brandon Lee getting loose down in the Mariners bullpen alongside bullpen coach John Wetland. Eric Bedard was scheduled to work tomorrow night, but he's not quite ready after his rehab start last Thursday with Tacoma. So Ryan Roland Smith will get the start tomorrow night against Zach Greinke, last year's American League Cy Young Award winner. Ryan pitched very well his last time out, Mike.
He did. He did a nice job getting ahead of hitters, being aggressive with his fastball. There's Ryan. Jason Vargas there with him.
6 innings, a quality start, gave up just 2 runs to the Yankees, but New York ended up winning that ball game by a score of 4-2. Ryan got the no decision. Walked 3, struck out 2. 2-2 on Figgins. So it's Ryan Roland Smith tomorrow night against Zach Greinke. Greinke 4-8 this year.
Wonder if maybe the year that Greinke had last year, a little wear and tear on him going into this year. Numbers not where they are, even close to where they were last year. I mean, you mentioned his record. Don't look at that, but his ERA just under 4, and he was so good last year, Rick.
Best ERA in the league at 2.16. Little soft looping line drive caught by shortstop Yuniesky Betancourt in shallow left field. That will retire the side. After 7, we go to the top of the 8th. Mariners 4, Kansas City 2. Take a look at our Geico quote. Felix letting his pitching doing the talking, Mike.
Another nice outing for Felix. 7 innings for him. He threw 112 pitches, 69 of them strikes. Ended up with 6 strikeouts. I thought maybe one of his better fastballs that we've seen from him.
Kansas City got his pitch count up there, as you mentioned. But 6 strikeouts along the way, and he leaves with a 4-2 lead, and Brandon Lee takes over here in the top of the 8th inning to face Jason Kendall, David DeJesus, and Billy Butler. Strike on the inside corner, 1-1. Here's the line for Felix tonight, Mike.
Well, the 6 hits, I think, is another number that's impressive. The Royals, high team batting average. They get a lot of hits as a club, and he held them to just 6 hits.
Ball 2, 2-1. Kendall is 1 for 3 tonight. Had a base hit back in the first inning.
See the numbers for Brandon Lee. ERA under 3 now, 2.93 for him. 32 strikeouts in the 43 innings that he has worked.
It's a ball foul on the third base side. Past coach Eddie Rodriguez, 2-2. Brandon comes after you, Mike, with that great fastball and the outstanding splitter.
And like Felix, his fastball has some good movement to a nice sink to it. Another guy that it's rare, Rick, because he's throwing 96, 97 miles an hour with that kind of movement. You just don't see it very often.
All the way again on the third base side, and it's still 2-2 on Kendall.
That was his split.
Fan comes away with a souvenir. I think that's his second one tonight. And the same at bat by Kendall. On a play in the first base side. Man's not going to catch that one.
That's why he brought his glove, Rick.
Smart idea, Mike. Bring your glove out to the ball game. Makes it easier to come away with a nice souvenir. Line the other way to right field, a base hit for Kendall. So 1 out for the Royals here in the top half of the 8th inning. So looking for a way to save money going to and from the airport? Take a Link Light Rail. For schedules, visit soundtransit.org. Tonight's paid attendance 22,617 for the opening game of the series with Kansas City. Here's right fielder David DeJesus aboard twice. He has scored twice. He's also lined out to Wilson at short. Warming up down to the bullpen for the Mariners. One guy the Mariners have really missed out there this year has been Mark Lowe. What he did for the ball club last year in the 8th inning.
One of the better setup men in this league, and at times, if you need him, he can come in and close a game for you. There's Mark. Out for the year with a bad back.
He was something last year. Ball 3-0 on DeJesus. With Billy Butler due up next. Tying run at the plate. 3-1. Kansas City in the middle of a 9-game road trip. Just played 3 down in Anaheim. They won 2 out of 3 against the Angels. After this 3-game series, it's on to Chicago for 3 with the White Sox. Line drive center field, and it drops in front of Franklin Gutierrez. Heading for third is Kendall. Gutierrez with the throw in. It's taken by Sean Figgins. Ball was sinking quickly out in center, so DeJesus with a base hit. And the Royals have runners at first and third with nobody out.
And Franklin doing everything he can to try to make a catch. The pitch up in the plate. Line drive out to center field. The thing that he does right there, Ricky, is when he wasn't going to catch it, he keeps his body in front of him so the ball stays in front of him, which is a nice play. If it gets by him, you have all kinds of trouble.
Good thing there is that you kept the hitter DeJesus over there at first base to still keep the double play in order, so the tying run is on at first base. Seattle Mariners baseball on FSN is brought to you by Better Bank. Better ideas, better banking. by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Taco Del Mar. Come try the Mondo Burrito at Taco Del Mar. It's big on flavor. 4-2 Mariners. Well, the Royals have runners at first and third. Nobody out. Top of the 8th inning. For first baseman Billy Butler on at third is Kendall. Over at first base, De Jesus.
Jose Guillen on deck. So the Royals have the guys coming to the plate that they want. Their RBI men.
Fly ball into right field. Ichiro going back. This is going to score a run. Ichiro the catch at the warning track. Tagging at third and scoring is Kendall. And it's now a 1-run ball game. Mariners 4 and the Royals 3. So give Billy Butler a sacrifice fly to right field and an RBI. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Here's designated hitter Jose Guillen. 1 on, 1 away, 1 run in, 1-run game. Ball 1. Guillen 1 for 3 tonight. Last Monday had his 21-game hitting streak snapped. Inside again, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Skipper Don Wakamatsu. Strike 2 and 1. And starting to make some noise behind Brandon Lee. Got in relief to start the 8th inning. Felix Hernandez wins 7. Ground ball to short. Jack Wilson diving. Can't get to it. Base hit. Heading for third. De Jesus up with the ball. Gutierrez. The throw will go into second base. So now the Royals have the tying run on at third. Jose Guillen with a base hit back up the middle.
That's twice he's had base hits up the middle. Jack Wilson trying the diving effort out of his reach. De Jesus runs well, so he's able to get over to third on the base hit.
One out, and that'll bring up Alberto Callaspo. Eddie Rodriguez talking things over with De Jesus. Hustled around to third from first base on the single by Guillen. Callaspo 1 for 2. Knocked in a run with a sacrifice fly back in the 4th inning. Infield is still back up the middle looking for a double play ball. Ball 1.
Callaspo had a base hit in the hole over at second base his first time up. Much bigger hole to hit it through now with Casey Kochman having to hold the runner. Guillen over at first.
He made Felix work, Mike, in his 3 at bats. Strike on the outside corner, 1-1.
That's a good pitch. Nice movement on his fastball. Keep the ball out there. It'll be tougher for Callaspo to get out there and try to hook it in the hole.
Little toss over to first base to get Guillen back. Tying run at third. Go ahead run on at first base for the Royals. And time is called. Rob Johnson going out to the mound to have a talk with Lee. And Garrett Olson getting loose down in the bullpen. Pitching coach Rick Adair and the skipper.
We're all hoping for a ground ball right to Figgins.
Ball 2, 2-1. DeJesus and Guillen. 1 out, 1 run in. And it's outside again. Ball 3. Callaspo staying away from that outside pitch. The 3-1. Lined into center field for a base hit. That's going to score DeJesus, and the Royals tie the game at 4-4. Alberto Callaspo with an RBI single. It'll send Guillen down to second base. So 2 runs are in for Kansas City. They have tied it up at 4. Still only 1 out. Here comes manager Don Wakamatsu out of the dugout. So Don's going to go out and get the left-hander Garrett Olson, the single by Callaspo. A 4-4 tie, and we'll be back after this timeout. Well, it's a brand new ball game. The Royals have tied it at 4-4. The new pitcher is lefty Garrett Olson, Mike.
Let's see. Garrett has pitched 9 in the 3rd innings, 4 strikeouts, 6 walks, has not given up a home run. Opponent's average 270.
Kansas City with 2 to tie here in the top of the 8th inning. They still threaten with Jose Guillen on at second base and Alberto Callaspo on at first base. 1 out. That's it for Brandon League. So Olson will take a look at second baseman Mike Gavilas. Strike, 0-1.
I wonder why Don Wakamatsu went with the left-hander Olson to pitch to the right-handed hitter Avilas. Avilas hitting .342 off of right-handed pitching, .250 against lefties.
High fly ball left field. Going to be an easy play for Michael Saunders. Started back till he comes in, and he's there to make the catch. 2 outs in the inning. Well, All-Star voting isn't quite over yet. Now through Thursday, you can vote for the 34th and final player for each league roster. Go to Mariners.com and cast your All-Star game final vote for the final 2 All-Stars for the game in Anaheim. Vote at Mariners.com. Each your own quickly are going to be there. Here's center fielder Mitch Meyer. Now he faces a left-handed bat. But he gets the right-handed hit of Aviles with that fly ball to left. Swing and a miss, and the count is 0-1. Managers really take a look at those matchups, don't they?
You have to. It has to. It's not the ultimate decision on it, but it has to factor into it. And I think with the struggles that Brandon had tonight, he went with Olson, the left-hander, to pitch to Aviles, and it worked out for him.
0-2 the count on Meyer. Kansas City with the go-ahead run on its second, and Jose Guillen with 2 outs. They have tied it at 4 here in the 8th.
Brian Sweeney up and throwing in the Mariner pen again.
Olson trying to get his offense back to work. Runners their leads, and the 0-2 to Meyer. It's in the dirt. Good block by catcher Rob Johnson. 1-2 on Meyer. Mitch Meyer hitting .362 with runners in scoring position. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Guillen and Callaspo aboard. Second and first. Rob Johnson on the mound. I have a quick word with Olson. Two on, 2 outs, 2 in. Breaking ball way outside, down and away. Ball 2, 2-2 on Meyer. 257 hitter, couple of home runs. 26 runs batted in. Fouled away at the plate. And it's still 2-2.
And Garrett is just giving him a steady diet of breaking balls. He's not throwing him a fastball yet.
Let's see what he does right here. Pitch number 6 on the way, coming up to Mitch Meyer. 2-2. And it's a fastball that's up and away. Ball 3, full count 3-2, and now with 2 down, both runners will take off. On deck, Yuniesky Betancourt. Olson trying to wrap up this inning right here with Meyer. Runners get their leads, and they go. The 3-2, and it misses outside with a fastball, ball 4. So Meyer walks. He'll be on at first. Callaspo down at second. Jose Guillen, the go-ahead run is on at third base, and here comes Don Wakamatsu heading out to the mound. He has Brian Sweeney ready to go down to the bullpen. He's going to call for the right-hander Sweeney to face Yuniesky Betancourt. So as the change is made, stay with us. We'll be back after this timeout.
Capital of the Northwest.
Mariners and the Royals tied at 4-4. Kansas City 2 runs in here in the top of the 8th inning. Bases are loaded for the Royals with 2 outs. Check the base runners. Jose Guillen is on at third. Alberto Callaspo on at second base. And Mitch Myers on at first base with 2 down. And the new pitcher is right-hander Brian Sweeney.
And Brian has done a really nice job. You see the ERA zeros. 7.2 He ended up pitching 4 of those innings in Milwaukee and really did a nice job. 7 strikeouts, no walks. Opponent's average just 115. And he will face Yuniesky Betancourt.
So Uni steps in with the table set. Brian Sweeney. Spent the last 3 years pitching over in Japan. First came up with the Mariners back in 2003. Betancourt takes a strike, 0-1. Betancourt's numbers with the bases loaded. Sweeney has a real good changeup, Mike.
Started him off with a changeup.
Ground ball left side over Jack Wilson. He'll go to Figgy at second, just in time to get Meyer. Holy smokes, what a play by Jack Wilson. He went to Sean Figgins just in time to nail Meyer at second base. That will retire the side, but the Royals get a couple to tie it. Mighty close at second, and we're tied at 4. Mariners and the Royals all tied at 4-4 as we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Time now for our Jack in the Box in-game box score. Ichiro with a base hit and a run scored. Sean Figgins with an RBI single. Russell Branyan driving in a couple with a 2-run home run. Jose Lopez with an RBI double. Bottom part of the order helping out as well. Jack Wilson and Michael Saunders. New pitcher Robinson Tejada for Kansas City as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, even at 4-4. Mike.
Well, he's going to have to work through the middle of the Mariner lineup, leading things off. It'll be Branyan, then Lopez, Franklin Gutierrez. So you guys can make something happen. David Aardsma up and throwing in the pen in case they do.
So here's Russell Branyan, last time up that 2-run home run to right field. Tejada misses low and inside for ball 1.
Here's the home run. He gets a fastball, middle of the plate, just above the knees, and another towering home run for Branyan.
Number 13 on the year. Low and inside, skips away from the catcher Jason Kendall. Ball 2, 2-0. Starting pitcher Brian Bannister, 7 innings tonight. Gave up 4 runs, all earned. Walked a couple, struck out 3. Popped up and out of play behind home plate, 2-1. How about the play at second base? Turned in by Jack Wilson. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the top of the 8th inning. 4-4 tie. The go-ahead run was on at third base when Yuniesky Betancourt hit a ground ball into the hole at short. Wilson went to his right, made a heck of a play, fired over to Figgins at second, just in time to get Mitch Meyer. Ball 3, 3-1.
Well, he missed the 2-0 fastball, which was in the middle of the plate. He fouled it off. Russell right now hoping he gets the same pitch again.
Sits safely now in 6 of his last 7 games, Mike, with 3 home runs. Up and away, ball 4. So Branyan with a leadoff walk, and the Mariners have the go-ahead run on at first base. Brings up third baseman Jose Lopez.
Lopez had a double his first time up. Just missed a home run on that double. Hit the top of the fence out in left field. A couple of fly balls to left also.
5 home runs on the season. Ground ball foul past third base. Coach Lee Tinsley. 0-1 on Jose. So with a 4-4 tie, Tejada right away becomes the pitcher of record. Ryan Sweeney came on and got that final out in the top half of the 8th inning.
Lopez has handled Tejada, hitting .385 off of him, Rick, with a couple of doubles.
Shaking out some P's in that right hand. Oh, 0-2. Branyan the lead at first base. Popped up and out of play on the first base side, and it's still 0-2 on Lopez. Tejada throwing 93, 94 miles an hour so far, nothing but fastballs to Lopez. Branyan's lead at first base, held on by Butler. Down the right field line, long run, De Jesus. It's going to be a fair ball. And it bounces up into the crowd. A ground rule double for Jose Lopez. The other way, just fair down the right field line. That'll send Branyan to third.
Take a look at the swing by Lopez. Pretty good pitch. Right on the outside corner. Trying to protect with a couple of strikes on him. And will hit the warning track and bounce into the stands.
Laying about a foot inside fair territory down the right field line. So the Mariners have 2 on in scoring position with nobody out. 4-4 tie. And here's center fielder Franklin Gutierrez. Branyan at third, Lopez on at second. Infield up the middle is halfway. Corners are a little bit closer. Hopped up. First baseman Billy Butler over to the seats, and this one is out of play right behind our camera well. And it's 0-1 on Gutierrez. Two on in scoring position. Franklin is flied out. Bounced out twice. Way up and in as Gutierrez spins away from ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike.
95-mile-an-hour fastball up and into Franklin.
Wow. Little chin music, Mike. That was mighty, mighty close.
First slider we've seen out of him. It's almost automatic, isn't it, Rick, after a pitch up and in? Going a breaking ball away.
Your eyes saw that 95 mighty, mighty close. The slider down and away. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. The appeal down to Tony Randazzo, the first base umpire. He went after it. Strike 3. So 1 out for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tejada with a strikeout.
And it's another slider. Franklin just can't hold up.
Brings up first baseman Casey Kochman.
I would assume that they'll put him on. Milton Bradley comes out on deck.
New manager Ned Yost out to the mound. They have a talk with Tejada. Yost taking over the ball club from Trey Hillman back on May the 14th. They played a game over 500 since he's taken over the team. There's Bradley on deck. Next up is Casey Kochman.
And they will put him on.
So they'll take the bat away from Casey Kochman, put him on, load the bases for Milton Bradley. So there is ball 1. And there is ball 2. So Bradley will get a chance to hit with the bases loaded and 1 out. He'll bat for Rob Johnson. Kochman getting the intentional free pass. And here comes ball 4 on the way to Kochman. So he'll toss the bat away. He'll be out at first. Lopez down the way at second, and Russell Branyan waiting over at third base. And here is Milton Bradley to hit for Rob Johnson. Ned Yost looking over his lineup card. Bradley steps in a 4-4 tie with a chance to do some damage.
Milton 6 for 10 off of Tejada. This is a matchup that Don Wakamatsu likes.
Runners will lead at every base. Bradley takes a look at ball 1. Little bit low. Branyan, Lopez, and Kochman at third, second, and first. Fouled away. Back to the on-deck hitter, Jack Wilson, and the count evens on Bradley at 1-1. Mariners a run back in the first, 3 runs in the 5th. And trying to break up a 4-4 tie here in the 8th. Swung on and missed, and the count is 1-2 on Bradley.
Mitch Meyer, the center fielder, shading over towards left center. Big gap out in right center field.
Fouled away, bounced into the crowd right over the top of the Royals' third base dugout. And it's still 1-2 on Milton. Three fastballs and a slider. That last fastball at 96. A little bit outside. Not by much. Ball 2, 2-2 the count. Leadoff walk to Branyan. Jose Lopez with a ground rule double. Then with 1 out, the intentional walk to Kochman. Tejada's 2-2 on the way to Bradley. Swing and a miss for strike 3. 2 outs in the inning. And that'll leave it up to Jack Wilson to try to break up the tie. So a couple of strikeouts for Robinson Tejada, Mike.
Well, after the changeup, he comes back with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball above the belt. Milton can't catch up to it. Right at the top of the strike zone.
Branyan, Lopez, and Kochman aboard. Jack Wilson had a big hit in the Bronx a few days ago. Inside, ball one.
And a base hit in the hole over on the left side. Drive in a run.
And a key hit in the opening night win in Yankee Stadium, 7-4 behind the pitching of Cliff Lee. Little pop up behind home plate and out of play, and the count is even on Jack at 1 ball and 1 strike. What's he thinking right now, Mike?
Jack just wants to put the ball in play and give himself a chance. He's 1 for 4 up at Tejeda. Tejeda's throwing hard. He has to be aware of the slider that he was throwing to Gutierrez to strike him out.
Down and in, ball 2, 2-1. So basically it's been fastball, slider
to the right-handers, fastball, changeup to the left-handers.
Up and in with a fastball, ball 3, 3-1. On deck for the Mariners, Michael Saunders, a bad one here. Top gives the Mariners a lead. Right now a tie game at 4-4. 3-1 on Jack Wilson. Line drive fouled on the left field line. Full count, 3-2. Look at that, everything in on Jack, Mike.
All the pitches inside. Tommy has not seen a slider. I think he has to stay ready for the fastball. I don't think Tejeda would take a chance in throwing a slider in this situation.
Now the 3-2 on the way. Swing to the looper, left side of the infield. Underneath it, Yuniesky Bencourt is there to make the catch, and the Mariners cannot score. And they leave the bases loaded, and we're still tied. We go to the top of the ninth. Mariners 4, Kansas City 4. All right, Angie, thank you very much. We go to the top half of the 9th inning, still tied at 4, and closer David Artsma will take over in relief, Mike.
Take a look at his numbers. 25 in the third, 24 strikeouts for David. Opponent's average 244.
And the new catcher is Josh Bard, up and away on Scott Pasednik. Ball 1. There's a look at Bard. Rob Johnson was lifted for the pinch hitter Milton Bradley in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Mariners had a golden opportunity. Could not score. His second and third, nobody out, and the bases loaded with 1 out, and could not get to Robinson Tejada. 1-1 on Pasednik. Got to keep this guy off the bases. Tries to bunt, gets it down past the mound. Tough play, charging Figgins, bare hands, no play. So Scott Pasednik with a leadoff bunt base hit here in the top half of the 9th inning. The guy has 24 steals.
And you don't see this play very often. It's a perfectly executed bunt. All he's trying to do is bunt it firmly, get it past the pitcher. With the way he can run, just put it in your pocket. Figgins did not have a play. But you don't see that very often anymore. Guys always trying to drag it down the third baseline.
Perfectly placed in the middle of that triangle between the mound, the second baseman, and the first baseman. So Podsey's on at first base. Here's Jason Kendall. He'll try to sacrifice, but a toss to first, and Pasednik gets back. Kendall 2 hits tonight, 2 for 4. Close at third base, Jose Lopez. Kendall showing bunt early. Lays it down to the first base side, picked up by Artsma. Only plays at first. Little toss to Figgins covering, so the sacrifice by Kendall sends Pasednik down to second base. 1 for the putout. Manager Ned Yost. Say, don't miss out on the new FSN fan alerts. Just text FSN to 95323 to get updates on when you can watch your favorite team. Stay informed on the biggest events in Northwest sports and receive exclusive offers and giveaways. Text FSN to 95323 and sign up today. Here's right fielder David DeJesus. Singled and scored one of the 2 Royals runs in the 8th inning when they tied up the game at 4. Pasednik is on at second. 0-1.
And as you mentioned, Pasednik with the 24 steals. A lot of the base stealers, guys, that's what they do. They'll tell you that sometimes it's easier to steal third than second, so David will have to keep an eye on him. Jack Wilson is up behind him trying to keep him close to second.
Numbers in this game: 4 runs, 11 hits for the Royals, 4 runs, 7 hits for the Mariners. Brandon with a home run. Inside on DeJesus for ball 1, 1-1. He's been caught stealing 9 times, successful 73% of the time. One on, one away. On a play on the third base side, and it's 1-2 on DeJesus. This guy's always been able to hit, Mike. DeJesus hitting .327 coming into tonight's game. 2 more hits tonight. Bard talking things over with David Artsma. Time called. DeJesus getting time from home plate umpire Ted Barrett. Kansas City gave the Mariners all kinds of trouble in the top of the 8th inning. They left the bases loaded themselves after they scored 2 runs to tie things up. Farnsworth, Soria down in the bullpen. Joaquin Soria, an all-star. Swing and a miss by DeJesus, strike 3. So David Artsma fans DeJesus. 2 outs in the inning for Kansas City here in the top half of the 9th.
All fastballs, goes right at him. 95 miles an hour on the inside corner. Just tied him up.
Go ahead run on it, sack with 2 down, and here's Billy Butler. And let's see, they're going to take the bat away from Butler. Here comes ball 1. Billy Butler sacrifice fly RBI in the 8th, RBI double in the 6th inning, and they're going to take their chances with that guy, Jose Guillen.
Guillen in the game, 2 for 4 tonight. Leads the club in RBIs coming into the game, and home runs, 14 home runs, 52 RBIs.
So Billy Butler with ball 4, the intentional walk, and now the Royals have runners at first and second with 2 outs. Bard and Artsma will talk it over one more time as Guillen comes up to bat.
This will be an interesting matchup. Guillen likes to hit the fastball. David throws a lot of fastballs. He has a good one going tonight, around 95 miles an hour.
Will break out the splitter in this at bat.
I think he's going to have to at some point.
Runners get their leads. Fastball down the middle for a strike, 0-1. Another fastball, but it's up and in for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Felix Hernandez started this ball game, went 7 innings, gave up just a couple of runs, a quality start, walked 2, struck out 6. The Mariners used 3 pitchers to get 3 outs in the 8th inning. League, Olson, and Sweeney. Artsma here in the 9th inning. The 1-1. Guillen a pop-up out of play in the first base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Mariner outfielders throw well, but if there is a base hit, they'll have their work cut out for him. Podsednik can really run, so he's going to be tough.
But off the inning with that bunt base hit. Then the sacrifice bunt by Kendall. De Jesus, big strikeout for Artsma. Then the intentional walk to Butler. Here's the 1-2 on the way. Fastball line drive into right field. Ichiro is there, and he makes the catch for out number 3. And the Royals leave the go-ahead run stranded at second. Any old type of run will do it. We go to the bottom. Here at Safeco Field tonight. Say every week Mariners All Access brings you the latest happenings on the home team with exclusive interviews, player profiles, and the memorable highlights you won't find anywhere else. The latest episode comes your way tomorrow at 6 p.m. right here on FSN and FSN HD. Fans on their feet. Bottom of the 9th inning. Mariners 4, Royals 4. Kyle Farnsworth will take over in relief for Kansas City.
We have seen him over the years. The guys are going to have to turn it up a notch. He throws hard, at times 100 miles an hour. See his ERA, 2.10, 0.34 and a third, 26 strikeouts. He has given up 2 home runs.
Michael Saunders will lead it off here in the bottom of the ninth inning. He's 1 for 2. He's walked, doubled on the right field line, scored back in the fifth inning. He's also grounded out to the second baseman, Mike Aviles. Saunders 7 home runs on the season. Trying to get something started here in the bottom of the ninth inning, and he takes low and inside, ball 1. So David Ardsma, a scoreless top of the ninth inning for the Mariners. Fouled off the top of the helmet of the catcher, Jason Kendall, and the count is even on Saunders at 1 ball and 1 strike. Ooh, right off the mask. 1-1. Fly ball into center field, going back is Mitch Meyer. He's there and he makes the catch, 1 away. And that'll bring up Ichiro. So we saw Ardsma work their bike in the top half of the ninth inning. A lot of times a manager will bring in his closer in the top of the ninth inning in a tie game at home.
At home, that's exactly right. They don't want to get through the game and not pitch him in that situation. So why not take a shot at it right there? You have your guys coming up to hit in the bottom of the ninth. It's not a save opportunity, but it happens all the time. That's the way most managers will play it.
In a tie game at home, here's Ichiro. Goes 1 for 4. And he takes outside for ball 1. Led off the first inning with an infield base hit, and 3 times has grounded out to second baseman Mike Aviles. 1 for 7. Ichiro against Farnsworth, and a swing and a miss, and the count is even at 1-1. Ryan Bannister started the game for Kansas City. He went 7, gave up 4 runs. Robinson Tejeda got out of that bases loaded jam in the bottom of the 8th inning. Farnsworth now here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Line foul and out of play in the third base side. 1-2 on Ichiro. For Ichiro, 1 career walk-off home run. How about number 2 tonight? Chopper right back to the mound, taken by Farnsworth, spins, throws the first, and he got him. 2 down in the inning. And that'll leave it up to Sean Figgins. Mariners have won 5 of the last 6 games at home. Pitchers with a 0.78 ERA in the last 6 home games.
Sean 1 for 4 tonight. He has scored a run. Also has an RBI.
Drove in Michael Saunders back in the 5th inning. Then he was aboard when Branyan hit that home run to right field.
Chad Cordero up in the Mariner pen.
That was the last time the Mariners hit home plate. Up and away, ball 1. Figgins in his last 42 games batting .291. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
Sean right now just trying to find a way to get to first base to get Russell Branyan up there and leave Russell a chance to swing it.
A fastball for a strike, 2-1.
He was taking that pitch all the way.
Fouls it away off Kendall, the catcher, and the count goes to 2-2. Game 1 of the homestand. 1 of 3 against Kansas City. Then the Yankees in town for 4. The 2-2 on the way, and it's inside with a slider. Ball 3, full count. Russell Branyan waiting on deck, hoping that Figgins can get aboard with 2 outs here in the 9th inning. Ground ball right to Aviles at second. He has it. Over to first for the out on Figgins. That'll retire the side, and we're going to go to extra innings tonight here in Game 1 of the series against the Royals. After 9, we're tied. All right, Angie, thank you very much. We're all tied here 4-4 as we go to the top half of the 10th inning tonight at Safeco Field. Opening game of the series with the Royals, and right-hander Chad Cordero takes over in relief. Mike.
Chad's done a nice job so far. ERA at 2.70. 4 strikeouts for me. Has not given up a home run. Opponent's average just 200.
Mariners have not fared well in extra innings this year. 1-7. Kansas City has. They are 5-2. Leading things off, Alberto Callaspo. There was a couple of runs batted in. One with a sacrifice fly and an RBI single in the 8th inning that tied the game at 4. Ball 1.
Lopez playing even with the bag. Casey Kochman guarding the line down the right field line.
Ball 2.
Outfielders all playing straight away.
Left-handed hitter up there. You want to take away the extra base hit between Kochman and the line. There's a strike on Callaspo as the count goes to 2-1. And that's up and away. Ball 3, 3-1. On deck for Kansas City, Mike Aviles. Mariners 4 runs, 7 base hits. Kansas City tonight 4 runs on 11. Strike 2 call. Callaspo thought it was going to be ball 4.
Pitches in the middle of the plate.
And he thought it was ball 4.
I think he was just trying to trick Ted Barrett.
And that one is outside for ball 4. So Callaspo with a leadoff walk here in the top of inning number 10, and the Royals have the go-ahead run on at first base. So Mike Aviles will try to lay down a sacrifice bunt.
Be interested to see if he does. Aviles having a nice year, hitting .321. If he tries to bunt or they let him hit.
And one way to find out is make a move to first base, see if the hitter.
Aviles did not show. A lot of times the hitters will try to square around a little bit early and you can get an idea, but he didn't show anything.
And he's going to try and takes a pitch high and outside for ball 1. Ned Yost, who's the new manager for Kansas City. Yost managed in the National League with the Brewers from 2003 to 08. Took over from Trey Hillman back in the middle of May. He's done a nice job with the ball club. Bard talking things over with Cordero. One on, nobody out, top of the 10th inning. Tied at 4. There's Callaspo on at first base. move to first. Callaspo gets back. You didn't have to sacrifice too much, Michael. What's the toughest pitch to lay down for a ball? Fastball up and in?
Probably. Have a tendency to pop that pitch up.
On attempt, and Aviles goes right through it, and the count is even at 1-1.
He didn't look real comfortable with that bunt attempt, did he?
No.
Just kind of jabbed at it. Want to get the bat out there, and basically you're just trying to catch it, catch the baseball.
Runner going, pitch outside the ball, thrown out to second by Bard. In time, got him. Alberto Callaspo out at second base, and what a throw by Josh Bard down to Jack Wilson.
Callaspo was thrown out by a large margin. I wonder if there was a mix-up in the signs. And he looked in, too. I think he thought a hit and run was on.
I was thinking, because you mentioned that last attempt wasn't the greatest, that maybe Ned Yost would take off the sacrifice, have him swing away. There's a pitch down and away for ball 3, 3-1 the count. But Callaspo took off. 1 out, nobody on. Ground ball to short. Jack Wilson there. Scoops, throws, got it. 2 down here in the top half of the 10th inning. And that'll bring up center fielder Mitch Meyer. When we go to the bottom of the 10th inning, the Mariners will send up Russell Branyan, Jose Lopez, and Franklin Gutierrez. Mitch Meyer 0 for 3, walked his last time up in the 8th. That loaded the bases with 2 outs after the Royals tied it up with 2 runs at 4-4. And Brian Sweeney came out in relief, and he got Yuniesky Betancourt to ground out to Wilson. And Shorter made a nice play going to his right. Wheeled fire to Figgins at second just in time to get Meyer. Outside with a fastball. Ball 2, 2-1. In the air, out of play on the left field side. 2-2. Last time these two clubs met, back at the end of April, the Mariners won 2 out of 3 in Kansas City. 2-2 on the way, and it's high and outside. Ball 3, full count.
Although Cordero was a closer at one point, not an overpowering pitcher. He will live on the edges of the plate.
Miles went off the screen behind home plate.
See his fastball 88 miles an hour.
Got to be able to spot it. Kansas City, Mike, over the last 4 innings, each time getting the leadoff man aboard. Activity down to the bullpen. Fly ball deep into the gap in right center field, and this one is going to get down for extra bases. Meyer heading for second. He's going to make the turn, head for 3. The throw in is cut off by Figgins. No relay to third. Mitch Meyer with a triple into the gap in right center field. So how big is that play now? Callaspo getting thrown out at second base.
Take a look at it. Meyer splits the gap in right field, and he can really run. This is an easy triple for him once it gets past Ichiro. And Betancourt going to get another opportunity. Came up in the 8th inning with the bases loaded. Jack Wilson made the nice play to get Meyer at second base. So he's going to get another chance here.
So there's Meyer perched on at third, representing the go-ahead run of the game. 2 down. Betancourt is 0 for 4. Fouls away the first pitch from Cordero. 0-1 the count. Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Uni. Mitch Meyer lead on at third base with 2 outs. The 0-2. Ground ball, base hit into left field, and here comes Meyer on to score from third, and the Royals have the lead 5-4 here in the top of the 10th inning. Betancourt coming through for Kansas City with 2 outs this time.
An 0-2 pitch. This is a mistake. You can see Bard in off the plate. Betancourt, as we know, Rick, is very aggressive. I think he wanted to throw a couple of pitches off the plate. See if he can get him to chase it.
Pasednik with a strike on 1. So Kansas City with a mighty big run here in the 10th inning. Now lead at 5-4. They have 5 runs on 13 base hits. And the dirt gets away from Josh Bard, and down to second base goes Betancourt on the wild pitch. The count evens on Pasednik at 1-1. Now Bard talking things over with Chad Cordero. Scott Pasednik had that leadoff bunt single his last time up in the 9th inning for his 1 hit tonight. Little looper into shallow left center field, and this one is going to drop in for a base hit. Here comes Betancourt rounding third, and he's going to score. So 2 runs are in for Kansas City here in the top of the 10th inning, who now lead it by a score of 6-4. Give Pasednik an RBI single with 2 outs.
Wild pitch ends up costing the Mariners as Pasednik ends up getting jammed and just flares it out into the outfield, but because of the wild pitch, Betancourt scores from second.
Here's Jason Kendall, but a toss over to first base to get Pasednik back to the bag. So Meyer and Betancourt have scored for Kansas City here in the 10th. There goes Pasednik, pitch on Bard, throw down to Figgins, and Pasednik is out at second base trying to steal, and that will retire the side. But a big inning for Kansas City. They get a couple. We go to the bottom of the 10th. It's now the Royals 6 and the Mariners 4. Don't miss the highly anticipated return of Eric Bedard to the Mariners starting rotation. The lefty will come on in the future. He was scheduled to go tomorrow, but he won't. Ryan Roland Smith will instead. So sometime, hopefully in the near future, we're going to see Eric Bedard, who had a rehab start last Thursday down at Tacoma. Yuniesky Betancourt and Scott Pasednik with big RBI singles. Driving in 2 in the top of the 10th inning. The new pitcher, Joakim Soria. Russell Branyan to lead it off. 0-1 the count on Branyan. Branyan with a 2-run home run, 1 for 3 on the night. That came back in the 5th inning. Soria, an all-star again this year for Kansas City, delivers strike 2 on Branyan. 0-2 the count.
Throws a lot of strikes, Soria does. He has 38 strikeouts in the 31 innings that he has pitched.
2.56 ERA. Breaking ball way low and inside, bounces away from the catcher Kendall. Ball 1, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
If you take a look at his numbers, he has given up 4 home runs this year. Opponent's average is 231.
That's outside, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Branyan, Lopez, and Gutierrez for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 10th inning. 22,617 tonight here at Safeco Field for the opening game of the series. Swing and a miss, and a fastball up and in for strike 3. 1 out for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 10th. Brings up Lopez.
After pitching Russell away, comes up and in with a fastball. Borderline pitch with 2 strikes. Russell thought it was too close to take.
Here is Jose Lopez. Lopez with 2 hits tonight, 2 doubles, and a run batted in back in the 2nd. Fastball misses up and away for ball 1. Down through the years, Mike, the Royals have had some pretty good closers.
Yeah.
Dan Quisenberry, Jeff Montgomery, this kid right here, Soria.
Seemed like for a long time that was one of their strengths, pitching. Even their starters had some really good starters. And
Saberhagen.
Yeah.
Charlie Lee Brandt, Paul Splittorff,
Mark Gubicza.
David Cohn, a young David Cohn coming up with the Royals. Down and away. Ball 2, 2-1. Yeah, Ruby. And they had a few guys who could hit. George Brett in the Hall of Fame. Up and in. Ball 3, 3-1. There's a guy working on the TV crew here for Kansas City, Frank White, who was an outstanding player. Came through the Royals Academy that they had many years ago.
Along with Willie Wilson, right?
Yeah. Brett at 3rd, White at 2nd, Willie Wilson in center field. Strike 2 on Lopez. Full count, 3-2. Had some great clubs in the late 70s, and then they put it all together in 1985, 25 years ago. That was the last year that they were in the playoffs, and they won the World Series. That season against the Cardinals. Pop up behind home plate by Lopez, and it's out of play, and it's still 3-2 on Jose.
And with Lopez knowing that the club is down by 2 runs, pretty good about getting a fastball, which he did, and he popped it up. Soria, I think, would go at him again. He doesn't want to walk anybody with a 2-run lead.
Popped up behind home plate again, off to our right, and it's still 3-2. Yep, another fastball from Soria. Fastball, fastball, off speed, fastball, 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 fastball from Soria. Line drive, foul. Another fastball, and the count is still 3-2. Nice little battle going on right here between Lopez and Soria. Lopez trying to get that tying run to the plate. Franklin Gutierrez due up next. Ball 4, so he'll get the tying run to home plate. So what an at-bat, Mike, for Jose Lopez. He walks with 1 away.
Jose's had a nice night. Wow. He's 2 for 4 on the night with a couple of doubles. Driven in a run. Good piece of hitting right there. Just to battle him. Find a way to get on.
Brings up Franklin Gutierrez looking for his first base hit tonight. He is 0 for 4. Hitting .277 coming into this ball game with 8 home runs, 36 runs batted in. Taps home plate a few times. He's ready to go. And so is Soria. 1 on, 1 away. Breaking ball for a strike. 0-1. Center fielder Mitch Myers shaded toward right center field. And he hits a pop-up right side of the infield. Calling for Butler and Aviles, and it's Aviles, the second baseman, who makes the catch. 2 down, and the Mariners are down to their final out. Here in the bottom of the 10th inning, Royals lead 6-4. And that will bring up KC Kochman.
Casey with a 3-run home run in last night's ball game. Really swung the bat well in Detroit in the 2 games that he played there.
He was 5 for 8 in that series with 3 runs batted in. The home run yesterday. 1 on, 2 away. Outside, ball 1. And that misses away for ball 2. No secret here, Mike. Our closer's going to pitch you in a close ball game at the end of a contest. He's going to pitch you away.
That's where he wants to go, to make you use the big part of the ballpark. Doesn't want to make a mistake in and have you hit one out.
Strike call. 2-1 on Casey. Lopez on at first base. Ground ball, base hit into left field. And the Mariners are still alive here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Single for KC Kochman with 2 outs. Going the other way, that'll send Lopez to second. So now the Mariners have the tying runs aboard, and the winning run is up there at home plate for Josh Bard.
Nice piece of hitting by Kochman. Taking what Soria was giving, and we talked about it. Soria was going to pitch him away. Casey gets a nice base hit into left field. Nothing changes for Bard.
Josh Bard hitting .250 coming into tonight's game. 1 home run, 4 runs batted in. Pitching coach Bob McClure going out to the mound. They have a talk with Soria.
And because we talk about it all the time with the closers, especially, Rick, if they want to pitch away, most of them anyways, it doesn't mean they don't make mistakes in the middle of the plate. Those guys, as good as they are, they make mistakes. You have to be ready as a hitter. We're going to have a pinch runner. It looks like Josh Wilson will come out and run for Casey.
So Josh Wilson represents the tying run of the game over at first base. Lopez is on at second. 2 on, 2 outs for Bard. McClure back to the Kansas City third base dugout, and here we go. This is Bard's first at bat in the ball game. And he takes low and inside, ball 1.
Walker has used up his bench. 1 man left. That's Ryan Langerhans.
Josh with 1 career home run, walk-off home run. Fouls it away, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. That came against the Mariners back in August of 2002. His lone walk-off home run. Right now, just looking to drive the ball. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. With 1 out, Lopez walked with 2 outs. Casey Kochman a base hit in left field. Josh Wilson out to run at first for Casey. Mighty tough closer out there in Joaquin Soria.
He saved 22 out of 24 this year, and as you mentioned, Rick, an all-star for a reason.
The 1-2 pitch on the way to Bard, and it is outside, ball 2. 2-2 the count on Bard.
I think at this point, best case scenario is for him to throw another ball right here if he can, because then the runner's going to get started so that if he gets a base hit somewhere, Josh have a better chance of scoring on it.
The 2-2. Curveball misses down low, ball 3. So now with 2 outs, the runners can take off with the count full on Bard.
Right fielder DeJesus is playing just in front of the warning track. There is a gap out in right center field. Josh Wilson at first getting a running start. If he can hit a ball out there, he can score, even if they cut it off.
Runners go, and a swing and a miss for strike 3. Bart goes down swinging, and the ball game is over. The Royals hang on and win at a final score of 6-4 in 10 innings tonight here at Safeco Field.
We'll take a look at the last swing by Josh Bart. An off-speed pitch, he's out in front of it. Nice pitch by Soria, and really the Mariners, this one's going to hurt Felix Hernandez again. No decision for him. 7 innings pitch where he gives up 2 runs. That one's going to hurt when you take a look at this game and you end up losing it late. As you take a look at Felix's line, 112 pitches for him, 6 strikeouts.
Very similar to his numbers the time he lost to the Royals in Kansas